Hello. I've been asked to talk with you briefly about the Gettysburg Curriculum. Now, you might wonder what there is to tell. You know there are hundreds of courses. You know that there are first-year seminars. You know that there are dozens of majors and minors. But actually, we have designed the degree as a four-year experience focused on certain goals that the faculty have isolated as critical for all graduates. These goals reflect not only the tradition of liberal arts education, but the needs of anyone going out into the contemporary world. So let me talk just briefly about these four goals. The first, a very traditional one, is called multiple inquiries. It's our belief that every student should be able to approach an issue from multiple perspectives. This requires study in different disciplines. And for convenience, we divide them into traditional divisions. So a course in the arts, a course in the humanities, a course in the social sciences, and a couple of courses in the natural sciences. Now, those are requirements, but the requirements address a goal. The goal is really a lifelong endeavor to understand as many perspectives as we can, so that if you understand, let's say, an object or an event from just one perspective, you don't have as much meaning and you're not able to use it as well as if you can understand it economically, aesthetically, in its religious context, historically, and so on. These multiple perspectives are what define the distribution requirements we call multiple inquiries. They save you from having just one tool with which you address the world. They give you many tools. The second goal is integrative thinking. These multiple perspectives leave us paralyzed if we can't bring them together and integrate them to solve problems and to work on lasting issues for ourselves and for the world. So being able to integrate our thinking is a critical second goal. What do we require in a way of a course that might address that goal? Well, you can take two designated interdisciplinary courses, or you have the opportunity to take any two courses that you feel relate to each other and work with a professor to cluster them together, to link them as a pair, and to do a special project which integrates the thought of those courses. The third requirement is effective communication. These days, that's not only reading and writing and speaking, but it's also being able to use electronic media effectively so that you can do presentations, so that you can express yourself well. These are skills that are valuable no matter what occupation, professional role you may find yourself in later on in life. And there are plenty of opportunities to practice those skills here. We do have a first-year writing requirement which addresses that, but we also have within the major an expectation that you will learn the communication conventions of the field. Whatever the ways of communicating are in chemistry. In chemistry, for instance, it might be learning how to keep a lab notebook, to write an abstract of a research piece, to do a poster for a conference presentation or apply for a grant. And of course, it would be very different if you're in the field of history or sociology or philosophy. Beyond effective communication, the fourth goal is informed citizenship. This citizenship at the local and at the global level involves action, choices, values that you take into the world, getting a global consciousness, understanding cultural diversity. And so we address this requirement of effective citizenship, this goal rather, by having these requirements. We have two that are in two different categories under cultural diversity. We require everyone to pursue a second language, at least through 1 year. And we have a science, technology, and society requirement. Why do we have these? Because as you try to be an engaged citizen in the world today, you need to understand the impact of science and technology, and to understand the ways in which, in a global culture that unites us, respecting diversity and seeing how that diversity contributes to the richness of the world is important. So these four goals, in a way, they fall in a sequence. You study multiple perspectives, you integrate them, you learn how to communicate what you've learned, and you take that out into the world as an engaged citizen. There's an implicit fifth goal, which is that you study something in depth, and that is, of course, the major. But all of these are interconnected, these goals. Some courses meet more than one requirement, and it's not a set of hurdles to be jumped in order to move on to things in the major or things that you may find a particular fondness for. These are the qualities, these are the courses, these are the goals that prepare you as a liberal arts graduate of Gettysburg College.